The United Nations is a complex body of networking hundreds and hundreds of New Age groups, political activists that want to bring in merging of religion. And we're warned in the Bible, our spiritual ideas have to merge to lift up this person who's going to get mankind to believe that he is the Christ.
Flash of the titans, black plagues, bite like sharks, take the bait. Snake by the neck, stake straight through the heart. Avoid the mark, poisonous infect. Ready to transmit, inject willing subjects. Disinformation, fall of applause. Got them locked up across the globe, calling the shots. Politicians, empirical thoughts, guerrillas march. It's a cold calculation, showing the claws. Puppet masters, making you wrong, keeping you dumb and afraid. Taking your freedoms away, playing the same game, raising you from cradle to grave. Create a nameless, faceless mass, assimilate. It's the fate of our nation. Decade away, another faded page of the past, taking the shape another great falling kingdom. Laid to waste, laying the blame on the sins of man. Carry the shame, turn our backs on the Creator, praising ourselves instead of Him. Accelerating chain reactions, a separation from the truth and faith, creating war and pain. Vain, digging the grave, rate of delusion. Memories wane, hard to maintain, it's so confusing. Paving our way to judgment day and revelation. Wrath of the King, but also grace and salvation for those who believe.
The United Nations is part of that conditioning process. The whole point of unifying spiritually is to globalize this little one called religion. To have the idea that through a like-minded mind consciousness, mankind can evolve to God consciousness.
Mayhem, destruction, Gog and Magog of nations, Nimrod affliction, son of perdition, reflections, nesting Masonic liaisons, brazen, bone-faced Apollons, and infiltration, wages of war, demonic soldiers, drafted and trained against God's kingdom, occult confusion, silent attack, use evolution, destroy creation, annihilate, eliminate Judeo-Christian tradition, foundations, connections to the true God of wisdom, manipulate through education and imitate science, filter the brains, invade the system, campaign agendas, listeners lost, images graven, ingrained inside malign invasions, affiliated divisions, fulfill prophetic sessions, unveiling hearts beating with sounds of revelation, fully prepared with the foundation, ready for anything, post, mid, or pre-tribulation, building our shields and swords, creating plows for fields, we stand for peace, the stages set no hesitation, hissing they stand the curtain raises, face to face without excuse, the pipers pay the fire blazes, rally the troops from far off places, gather at the valley of truth and hear the shouting of our praises.
The major driving force behind the idea of the United Nations and world government is...
Howdy, everybody. DestinyLab.com to get some of that fantastic music that you hear me playing every week. DestinyLab.com. Go pay him a visit if you haven't already. What's up, everybody? Jim Funky, Boiler Room Radio. You guys know the deal, unless you're new. Howdy if you are. I've actually succumbed to 200 subscribers. There's 200 people that actually give a shit what I have to say on a regular basis, I reckon. So, yeah, that's a new milestone for me on YouTube. Thank you. All right, on with the show. Let's get over here to the Skype thingy and get Mr. Vaughn West added in here and crawl up to the Skype thingy and grab Mr. David F. Town Balla and get him added into the show, too. I think that's the only two that are coming on tonight because Charlie doesn't do Saturdays. I haven't heard back from Lori. And Lance said he was going to be out whoring around again, so it's just us three amigos. Dan's got family over visiting and stuff, so he's not going to make it tonight. What's up, Vaughn?
Change of temperature, and it's been relatively nice. As far as activity, kind of hard to say. It's the same old thing every day, you know. It's like, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, I need to start doing videos to mock it, like, you know, if I need something interesting to do.
Yeah, well, hey, do one of you eating a Tide Pod or something. I mean, that's supposed to be all the rage now.
Brenda was just reading that to me. What is with people? Don't they know that it'll cause you to shit your brains out?
If you are over the age of 3 and you don't know better than to eat detergent, then I there was a meme going around that said, let them eat Tide Pods, man, because, nature's taking its course. And I agree totally. If you are
There's
that
been more
stupid,
adults than kids, too.
yeah, because there's some Tide Pod challenge going out now, so everybody's got to do it like they dumping a bucket of water on their head, or let them go. Let them go. If they're that low on the gene pool ladder or whatever, just let them go. Let them go. Yes.
Idiocracy at its best.
I'm telling you. And anybody will do anything that they see on the fucking computer now. If it's a Facebook trending whatever, they're going to jump in on it because they're just a bunch of sheep, like we've been saying for a decade.
Well, somebody said they wondered if it took away the shit stain as it went out.
Well, this just thins the herd, is the way I see it.
Yeah, exactly. Just let nature take its course. Yeah, that's all you got to do. And there's some of the memes going around on Facebook about the whole what is it, Dippin' Dots, some kind of detergent, the Downy Dippin' Dots, and Ajax, snorting lines of Ajax and radiator fluid and oil. I mean, they're funny. They're funny. They're really funny. So
something about Drano too. They said that gives you a real charge.
Hey man, if you can snort a line of Ajax, you're good in my book.
Oh my.
All right. My. Let's see what else we got going on there. Addie came in the room. Hi, Addie. She got actually on the microphone. I'll have to type it in the room still, though. 31 Saints in the room, too. L4, Ricky, Teddy, Howard, David Howard. Who else is in here? Everybody started. I think I'm trying to go through here and name people off. I don't ever say hi to y'all on the microphone, so I'm saying hi. Hi. Okay.
Yeah, and I can't really see it because all I'm doing is sitting here is talking to the Skype base with us three archives up here.
Oh,
ours, whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, well, you can access chat if you know how to do that. So there you go.
Yeah. If I wanted to open that up, yeah, I sure did.
All right, let's dive right in, like it's the 10-footer. What's on your stack of stuff there, David?
Well, just seeing there just came out that North Korea delegation for the Olympics has arrived in Seoul, South Korea just about an hour ago. It's like a huge, massive thing. And
what was the whole? They had some people that said they weren't going to go after they said they were going to go, and I don't know. There were some things that were up in the air for the last 48 hours. What was all that about?
Well, they were supposed to. They want to have different things over there. North Korea wants to bring over like these what they call acting troops and music troops, and just to entertain people.
Right.
Yeah. And this one girl was coming over there. Was supposed to come over there, and they were supposed to send her and some other high-level people with her yesterday, and all of a sudden they just didn't show.
Yeah, like her delegation said, no, we're not going.
Yeah, and so then all of a sudden North Korea comes out this morning and announces we're sending 22 athletes to the Olympics. We're going into South Korea today to check everything out, and sure enough, their delegation arrived, and they're in Seoul right now. And the show's involved. There's 4 of them, 2 South Korean representatives, 2 North Korean. They're all standing there holding hands, smiling and it's cool to see, but you just wonder how real it is,
Are they going to make a special flag for the Olympics? Are they going to make a special flag for them to fly?
Yeah, it's a reunification flag they're going to march under.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be extremely interesting to watch play out.
Oh yeah, this is North and South Korea basically tell America to eat a dick.
Yeah. And the rest of the world, as a matter, unless China's putting them up to it, or you know what I mean. I don't know. We don't know what's playing behind the scenes.
No, it's the weirdest thing, man. Because South Korea will come out and say on one side of their mouth that they're listening to us about this whole thing, and they're not going to take sanctions off of them. And then you see them on the other side where you can tell they want to please the North Koreans, kind of too.
Well, I know I'll probably watch the Olympics this year because it ought to be monumental just with what's going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to they're going to have on the American broadcasts they're going to have flashes over to the Gulf or the ocean where the big penis is floating around out there with all its airplanes on its deck and flyovers of F-18s and blah 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 blah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's gonna be one of the biggest things people have seen on TV in a long time is North and South Korea walking in holding hands.
Mm-hmm. And Japan shitting their pants while that happens, and
That's
the
going to
U.S.
be world news. That's all you're going to hear about in the media for like a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a big thing. It is a huge thing.
Yep. Any more threats of nuclear war from Kim and Trump, or is Twitter quiet for the last couple days, or?
Yeah, it's been quiet between them two for a couple days now. So, you just have to, you sit here and you try to figure out, is North Korea just playing a game and sucking in the South to take them away from us, or are they for real?
That's why I think that China's behind the scenes doing something, because they want as much buffer between them and the United States as humanly possible. So the only benefactor from a unified Korean peninsula would be China and North Korea. So that's the only reason that I think that China's got something to do with this in the background, and we just don't know what's being said on the red phone.
Well, that's exactly it, man.
Excuse me. All right. Well, I have nothing else on the Koreas, man. What else we got?
Well, there was that other thing. What that came out, was it today? This story came out. It says, let me find the. It says North Korea faces 3 types of U.S. bombers in Guam now for only the second time in history.
The B-52, the B-1, and the B-2.
Yep. Yeah, B-1, what does it say here? B-1Bs and...
Yep. That's the swept wing dealie.
B-2s and B-52s.
Yep. The B-2s. The
only second time in history they've all been together on Guam like this at one time.
When was the last time?
I don't know. It's only the second time in history. I know that much. I think the last time was August 2016.
What'd they go over there for then? Parade flight or something?
I don't know. I don't really say. But
and those guys bitch about the cost of what it costs to drive a truck, and these guys are running around in these jets and bombers and crazy shit. Just thinking of fuel they're burning.
Hey man,
North Korea's going to freak out over this because we got them there. We got the Vincent en route right now with a couple nuclear submarines with it. So I think we're fixing to outshadow what's going on between South Korea and North Korea. I think they're just going to say, I think after the Olympics, we're going to war with the North. And if the South don't watch out, man, we'll bomb them too, probably. Who knows? Japan wants to go to war with North Korea too, and Japan ain't too good of friends with South Korea. So this could be crazy. It could be Japan and America taking on South and North Korea.
Why wouldn't Japan want to go to war? They just built their brand new military to use, right?
Well, yeah, and they also announced today out of Japan, this was big news. Japan ready to mass produce new supersonic anti-ship missile.
Ooh.
And it says Japan's first supersonic air-launched anti-ship missile is slated to enter service in 2019, and they're going to mass produce them.
Didn't Russia just come up with a hypersonic undersea nuclear torpedo or something like that too, that just got divulged earlier this week?
Oh, yeah. That thing, it's a nuclear torpedo.
Yeah.
And it can come out of the water and fly like a drone so far into land, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Japanese, when they build something, they build it right. They are perfectionists to that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting moves really being played, And then we also told Japan they could keep on enriching uranium over there. We're not going to stop them on that.
Oh, no. But we can't let Iran do it, though.
No.
Yeah. I can talk them into fixing my fucking highway so I can drive my motorcycle this spring?
No, that's way, way down on the totem pole, man. You probably have to go out and buy yourself some cold pack and do it yourself. Fill in them potholes.
If we ever gave Japan nuclear weapons, that'd be it with China. That's China's red line, Taiwan and Japan being armed like that. And
China wants the whole Philippines.
Japan nukes, again, because of China.
Yep. But China wants all the Philippines, too. They want to just the whole coastline all the way down through there. They want all of it.
Well, we just sailed that ship off one of their islands out there. You know, you're not supposed to go. China says you're not supposed to go within 12 nautical miles of these islands. Well, we should send a ship inside of that.
Yep.
One of our big destroyers or cruisers of ours the other day, and China's upset about that, man. They're like, you know, you're pushing it, and we're trying to bait China with this ship. We're hoping they sink this ship so we have a reason to go and ripping those islands, you know, start bombing those islands and going to war with China. You know, every time a ship passes through there, that's nothing but bait. I feel sorry for those guys on that ship because they're being used as bait, hoping China opens up on them.
After Wednesday's show, I went and looked online to see if I could find anything else about the freighters that they took possession of and took the troops off of, or the crews off of, the Chinese crews off, and I didn't see nothing. That story just all of a sudden disappeared. The only thing that makes me think that it might have been propaganda. That's the only thing that makes me think it might have been propaganda. But other than that, that's kind of hinky. You know, what happened to those crews? What happened to those vessels?
Yeah.
You know, if they're going to put a blockade up, then they just need to turn them around and send them back where they came from. They don't need to be taking possession of them and shit.
Yeah, South Korea took possession of 2 of them.
Yeah, crews and all.
Yep. You really never heard what happened to them.
Okay.
POW camp.
Yeah, David said something in the room that I remember vaguely, or not vaguely, but I remember, you know, brilliantly from when I was a kid. If you bought something and it said "Made in Japan" on it, you thought it was a piece of shit and put it back. You know. Yep. Yeah. But the
now
U.S.
it's made
can't.
in China.
Yeah, the U.S. can't build a fucking thing. We don't build a fucking thing anymore here, except weapons. You know, we'll build bombs and fighter jets and all that shit all day long, but we can't build a car. Where the fuck? We can't. It's all overseas shit anyway. The Harley Davidsons are even half fucking overseas parts. Whatever. Diamond Gusset. You can get yourself a really good pair of jeans that's handmade down in Tennessee, made in the U.S. U.S. denim, you know, U.S. grown cotton. That's you know, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, because it used to be Levi, you know, there in Missouri, but that went to hell real quick.
They're all made in down in Mexico now. That all comes up out of Mexico. So, whatever. Next story.
All right, let's talk about the big story here. Let's talk about Turkey.
Don't forget to throw in your rants, too. I mean, you said you were full of rant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just reminding you. Go ahead.
So, anyway, Turkey today did a full invasion of parts of northern Syria. And, you know, they had announced that they were going to do this for a while, and they kept backing away, and, you know, they actually did it now.
There's something about that in Ezekiel, I think.
Well, you know, this is like Gog, Magog, and different Bible scholars got their visions on who's Gog. Some people say it's Russia, some people say it's Turkey. And then there's still kind of a back and forth with that if you get into that, you know, Ezekiel type stuff. So, but, you know, Turkey, Erdogan is the spawn of Satan. He really, truly is. He did that fake coup on his own people, threw all those people in prison, killed a bunch of them.
He idolizes Hitler and made no bones about that.
Yeah.
So
and he's the Turkish Hitler.
Yeah, he wants to be the second coming of Hitler.
This guy's scary, man. He really, truly is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can't be trusted by anybody. I mean, he's a NATO country. And what's going on now between us and them is insane. We got nukes over there in Turkey, you know. We should get them things out of there.
We should have back when he closed the bases. Remember a year and a half ago? Yeah. He closed access to our bases and shit. Nobody could come and go off the bases. That's when they should have just put the kibosh on everything over there, pulled all the strategic shit out, and let her go.
Yeah, I agree with that, and we messed up by not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, he moved in. He's attacking the YPG and the PYD Kurds. You know, there's different factions of the Kurds. You got the PKK, which we even consider a terror group over there.
They threaten Russia.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And so the PKK. So Turkey's been fighting the PKK since the early '80s. They've been mortal enemies. And like I said, they're Kurdish. Then you got the YPD, and then you got the PYG. These two groups Turkey considers terror groups too, but we don't. And during this battle with, ISIS, we went in and we trained a lot of these guys. We armed them. Our special forces trained them. And then once we got rid of ISIS up there, we kind of left them on their own, and we went and formed the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, which are all Kurds that we specifically are using as our army over there right now. We've got the
Syrian rebels. Is that what we call them now? Syrian rebels?
Yeah, Syrian Democratic Forces. The Free Turkey runs the Free Syrian Army now. The Free Syrian Army broke away and went to Turkey, which they're ISIS fighters too. They just switch uniforms. That's what Turkey does. All these ISIS members, a lot of them came in from Turkey.
If they didn't, the Russians were going to blow their fucking heads off. So that's why they ran back to Turkey. Yeah, go ahead.
They ran back to Turkey, and Turkey calls them the FSA, the Free Syrian Army. We started them in the very beginnings of our fight with ISIS, and then they kind of all abandoned us after we armed them and trained them. They all took off and joined ISIS, and then they started going up with Turkey and stuff. So this Free Syrian Army, Turkey controls now. We started a brand new one called the Syrian Democratic Forces. We went into. They're all, like I said, they're all Kurds, some Arabs, but majority of them are Kurds. And they've been fighting all of our battles over there in these different cities to take them back from ISIS. So what's big about what Turkey did today is he's going into this one town called Afrin. And they flew in today, did 75 jets flew in, did 109 airstrikes.
Yeah, I saw that.
109 airstrikes, and then went back, and now he's moving in his 2nd Division Army, which is almost their biggest part of their army. He's rolling in tanks. He's rolling in everything.
Indiscriminately killing civilians, I'm guessing, too.
Yeah, he's already killed 10 of them just in the airstrikes today. Mm-hmm. And then he come out today and said, we're going to take care not to kill any civilians. We're just going to root out this YPD and this... And the PYD, and so it's insane what he's fixing to do. He's fixing to just genocide one huge town.
Yep.
Because these guys can't fight off by themselves. They can't fight off the 2nd Division of the Turkish army. That's insane. So he's going to mow right through there. So those Kurds that, like I said, we trained them at one time and kind of left them after ISIS went out of there. And so now they're wanting our help again. They're wanting anybody's help. They're like, America, you're the one.
What's Russia have to say about all this? Are some Iraqis going to come down and help them out? Because I know they've got some factions up in Iraq that are friends.
Well, Russia, Erdogan had to get permission from Russia to go in and do this because these towns have been in the deconfliction zone that America, Russia, Iran, and Syria set up last year. Mm-hmm. And Russia runs this part of northern Syria where this town is that Turkey just hit today.
Right.
So Erdogan had to get permission from Putin before he could go in there and do that. And so everybody's wondering, what did Putin had to get something out of this to let Erdogan go in and do this. And so everybody's trying to figure out what Putin got in return. We may never know, who knows, but he had to get something for Turkey to come in there. And so now it put us in a position because, these towns that Erdogan's hitting is called the Afrin Canton. And it's like a series of 3 or 4 different towns all by each other. He said after he takes this canton out, he's going to move down to this one called, what is it called? It's called Manjib. Manjib is the name of the town, I think. We've got our special forces there, American special forces. We've got
boots on the ground.
We've got SDF there too. That's in that town. We use that town as an air base. And now Erdogan told us today, after I take this canton up here, I'm going to come and fight you.
Said that to the U.S.
Hell out of there too.
He said that to the U.S.
Well, he said, I'm going to take care of this town. Well, he knows good and well that we've got a base there. He knows good and well that the SDF that we're training are Kurds that he doesn't like.
I got you.
And so he come out and that's how he threw the hint out. I'm coming to take that town next.
Since ISIS took off with all the weapons that we gave them and shit and ran up to Turkey, we got to back somebody. So are we gonna go ahead? I mean, what's Tillerson have to say about this? What's coming out of the White House?
Well, Tillerson, said he had a talks with Russia today, Lavrov, about it, and they're not really disclosing what they said to each other.
Secret.
Tillerson also came out and called on Turkey to withdraw from Afrin right now, that they don't need to be there, and he's asking them nicely to get out as soon as possible.
We're not supposed to be there either, right? I mean, we still don't have any permission to be in Syria, boots on the ground.
No, we're invaders too.
Yeah, so, yeah. We got this invaded already, man. You guys back off now.
That's what it's coming down to. That's exactly what it's coming down to. These are, this
there
is
must
our
be,
area.
Yeah, there must be oil in the ground or something over there. I mean,
Syria
it can't be all about
Kurds. Like a turkey.
Yeah, it can't be all about Kurds versus, Alawites or where. No, Turkey. What faction are they?
Turkey?
Yeah.
They're I think they're Sunni.
Sunni? Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they're Sunni. I think they are.
All right. Do you know, Vaughn, for sure? If Turkey's Sunni or Shia?
You'd have to Google it. It'd tell you. I think it's Sunni, but I could be wrong on that. They're a majority something.
Yeah, the Sunnis are the violent ones, so I'm guessing that's probably correct.
Sounds right, but like I say, I'd have to Google that myself. When it comes to tribes of the Muslim people, that I don't stay on top of that. That's like
me neither.
Who lives in West Virginia? Who lives in Virginia?
I tried to stay on top of it for a while, but it got to be so old hat that I just gave it up. They're going to do what they want to do, and our government's going to back whoever they want to back, and there ain't a fucking thing we can do about it until we grab a bunch of ropes and pitchforks and torches and head for Capitol Hill.
Isn't there 3 major tribes, and all 3 major tribes are fighting to be the one that brings the final Messiah, their Messiah, to fact?
No, the Sunni and the Shia are in that battle, pretty much. But the Alawites, that's the majority of Syria, and they're just kind of like laid back Muslims. They don't dress in hijabs and burqas and all that bull. I mean, they're just
they're
normal
a branch
folks.
of Shiite.
Yeah, but they're super laid back.
Yeah.
They wear jeans and shit, and you know what I mean.
They're laid back.
Yeah. So the Sunni are the ones that do the
Turkey's
screaming
Sunni.
and yeah.
I looked it up.
Turkey's Sunni. Yeah, that figures. All right, go ahead.
So Syria is never going to be the same. This war was winding down, but what's happening now is everybody's carving out a piece of it for themselves. You got Iran that's got a piece of it, Hezbollah that's got a piece of it, Russia's got a big piece of it, America's got a piece of it.
I think Russia's kicking themselves now for not getting involved in Iraq.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead. That was just another rabbit hole. Sorry.
But so Assad will never have his whole country back. It's gone. He's not strong enough to fight all these different people over there taking pieces of his country. Russia and America made a pact with each other. Russia, we everything that we got over there, we talked to Russia about. Russia's like, all right, America, we're taking this piece, and America, which piece you want? All right, you want that piece? So we're shaking hands with Putin on this, I believe.
Where's Israel stand?
Israel, is a wild card over there. They want Assad gone.
Yeah, they're the only ones now, though. Until they start jerking on the American strings or whatever and throwing money around up on Capitol Hill, patting Congress's asses, then Congress gets involved and says, "Well, he's got to go. He's a terrible human being."
Our Secretary of State of Tillerson came out just this last week and said that we still want Assad gone. That's our MO.
Yeah, because there was some other thing about him gassing his fucking people again or something. Yeah, or was that earlier?
I saw
a clip of Trump responding to it, and calling Assad a terrible human being for doing that to his own people and blah, blah, blah. It might have been earlier. It might have been a clip from back before they proved that all was bullshit. But anyway, I digress. Keep going.
So, like I said, Russia's got a piece and we've got a piece. Iran's got a piece. Hezbollah, and it's all different pieces that belong to different people now. Syria will never be the same.
No, their natural resources and control of their people belongs to the cabal now.
Well, this SDF that we're training over in Syria, that's basically going to end up being a force to go after Assad here whenever they choose to, along with Israel, along with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Saudi wants them gone still, too.
Trained in Turkey by Mossad and the CIA. Perpetual war. I think we've been in it since the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For quite a while, but it's getting more. Like I said, this move that Turkey did today could really start something big, man, because
Right.
they bombed one of the bases that we fly out of today. Turkey went and bombed it up so no jets could take off of it.
I fully agree. It's going to heat up quicker than it cools down.
And if you believe in biblical prophecy, there's a lot adding up. Turkey's the one that could bring on biblical prophecy. I firmly believe that. There's what comes out of what you read in Ezekiel.
Yeah, that's what the flowing southward into the land, and I don't know the exact quote. I don't have it in front of me, but I've seen probably 15 posts today that correlated the scripture from Ezekiel with the movement of Gog and Magog and the movement of these troops down into Syria. So we thought Damascus was destroyed already. There might be a second round coming now, and they take it to the ground.
Yeah, I think the second time around will be it. I think Turkey's going to make a march for Assad. Turkey would love nothing more than to remove Assad. That's another big thing that came out with Erdogan when he announced their. And what's funny is what their operation is called? Operation Olive Branch.
The branch of peace.
Isn't that how? It's just weird how that conflicts with each other. Here you going in and killing people, but you have to name your operation as Olive Branch.
That's the whole throwing it in your face, man. Being sacrilegious and anti-Christian and throwing it in your face. That's the whole. Everything is upside down, continuing. Peace is war. There you go.
It's the craziest thing. Here's an olive branch while I cut your head off.
Right. That's exactly what it is. It's it's just in your face now, people. It's in your face. If you can't see it by now,
when I first heard the name of that operation, I'm like, that is crazy.
It's like poking them in the eye.
Erdogan's Satan. He really, truly is, man. I think he's a spawn of Satan or something. That dude, out of all the world leaders in this world, he's the one that creeps me out the most. He's the one I believe that could bring this world to the brink of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think this army that he's moving in, this second army, they're not going to stop. They're going to make a move toward Damascus, I think. Who knows? Maybe they're going to give Russia the finger after a while.
They're going to let all this continue during the Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let it crawl along really nice and slow until that shit's over with, and then tell them, Katie, bar the door, go for it.
I said, Israel. They don't like Israel either. Turkey might make a move toward Israel.
Just the opposite of that. They might give them the go right now, or as soon as the Olympics start, saying, "Hey, the world's focus is over here in Korea. Knock yourselves out, man. Go in there and lay waste to the place." It could go both ways.
Remember, it's right after the Olympics when Putin took over Crimea.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just like I say every show now. We're just sitting back waiting for that shoe to drop. What's going to happen next?
These Olympics could be very interesting. There's a chance that something could happen. It could be a false flag happen during the Olympics.
Yeah, they're going to be
blamed on North Korea.
They're going to be interesting, no doubt about that.
We're moving a lot of hardware over there for, just to sit. I think I think either right after, man, I think it's going to be go time.
Prepping. Moving the chess pieces around the board, getting them staged.
Oh, yeah, you got Turkey moving in. You got us with North Korea. You got us sailing a ship right up next to China's islands. I mean, you can't get any closer than we are right now. You got the government shut down now. You got everybody divided. You got those marches today were massive. And New York City, I watched a bunch of New York City, L.A., Oakland, Houston. You're talking Chicago had over almost 400,000. New York City had almost 1 million.
And these people were marching for Trump's impeachment.
Yep, this turned into anti-Trump marches. I'll tell you what, this is, like I said, I don't consider myself a liberal or a conservative, and I watch them both go back and forth all the time. And I hear the conservatives say, "Oh, you faggot liberals, we'll fucking kill you. We got the guns, whatever." But if you look at these marches, there are more of them than there is of you. There truly is. And they may be faggots, they may be women and that, but they've got a fucking army.
And they're
marches,
zealots,
man.
That's the thing. They're zealots. It's become a way of life for these people to be, against everything that offends them, and they're dangerous because they're crazy as fuck.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm standing back because I don't have a horse in this liberal or conservative race. So I stand back and look at both sides. And I hear you conservatives saying you got the guns, but I look over here at these liberals, man, they've got the numbers. They've got the fucking numbers. And they're crazy.
They're crazy.
They're having major protests now in Portland. They had a women's march, and after that women's march just ended about an hour ago, all of a sudden these violent protests broke off the end of it, and they're ripping through Portland right now.
Yeah, that's the
Antifa. Antifa came out tonight. They're in Portland right now. Antifa, Black Bloc, and they're going crazy down there.
Yeah, instigators.
Shit's crazy. Government shut down. These massive protests today. This war breaking out with Turkey now. There's shit being made, man. I think this shutdown that just happened is going to be a lot bigger than what people realize. This ain't going to be like the 2013 that was down for 16 days. This is going to, I was watching news today and they're going back and forth, the Democrats and Republicans, cussing each other out. They fired some guy, got fired out of the Republican GOP today. It's crazy.
They're throwing each other under the bus left and right, man.
Yeah,
we've been seeing that for a while.
They're throwing each other under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our government is fucking dissolving right in front of our eyes, and World War III is right here.
Who gives a shit, man? Those people haven't been doing a fucking thing for anybody but themselves for decades. I see all kinds of posts about how who was the last one? Harry Reid has made like $20-some million being in Congress, and he only gets paid $200,000 a year. How the fuck do you make all that money? Insider trading and shit. Lobbyist money going into his fucking pocket. That's how they do it, and just flat stealing from the people, Nepotism, giving their family jobs and shit that nobody else gets to bid on. They're all corrupt, man. Every single fucking one of them. I don't give a shit if they just got there. If they're involved with the government in any way, shape, or form, there's corruption there. And they're wise to it.
Well, I did a video on this showing all the congressmen sound asleep, the old fucks.
Yeah, sitting in their fucking chairs.
If they shut the government down, at least the some bitches are sound asleep at home and not here. In our government. And people get upset. Oh, the government shut down. You know what? I don't even know it ever being active.
Look,
have you ever seen anything positive come out of that bullshit session up there?
No. If you want to fuck something up, give it to the government to take over, for them to control, because then shit's going to cost 3 times what it should normally cost, and it's going to take 100 years to get anything done, because all they do is talk. Have their little congressional meetings and blah, blah. $200,000 a year to sit in a fucking chair and sleep while you're on the job? Give me a fucking break. And here's another thing. When they get elected into Congress or the Senate, they spend about 70% of their year going around getting donations for their next campaign. They only spend about 3 months a year on Capitol Hill doing anything. The rest of the time, they're on fucking vacation.
Well, that's why they need to be queued down to about 2 years.
No,
years,
they need to go away. We don't need a fucking government. The people can handle all this on our own. If we have a federal government, the only thing that they should be associated with is securing the border of the country and maybe foreign trade. Maybe. But I think the businesses should be able to handle all that on their own.
You watch what starts happening to the stock market now after these all-time highs of 2,600 or whatever.
26,000, yeah.
26,000. Watch what happens now with the government shutdown. You're going to see a big drop come Monday. And I've been telling people, they've been making this stock market so overinflated right now. It's insane. And the higher it gets, the worse the crash is going to be. And it's going to collapse, man. This is why they're getting ready to start this war. This is why our government's completely dissolved now. This is it, you know?
Let's see. I'm going to read a couple things out of the room here.
20 trillion in debt?
22, or crawling towards 22, yeah. David Howard said, Trump just put out a new ad today, complicit, saying that the Dems are complicit with all the murders by the illegal aliens. Addie says, the problem with government shutdown is service members and civilians on military bases don't get paid. This affects several of my friends. It's not the officials, it's the other that messes up. It's not the officials, it's the other that messes up. I don't follow that second one. I don't understand where you're going with that one, but let me know.
I think what he's saying is that the hardworking backbone of the people that actually do something are the ones that are going to lose their fucking pay during this shutdown because, you know, you don't show up, you don't punch in, you don't get paid.
Yeah, well, you know, I feel for all the civilians that are military contractors and whatnot and how they're going to lose. But look, man, if you people are awake at all, what? All right, there was some kind of glitch in the fucking system right there. I think y'all in the chat room, let me know if we're still broadcasting because YouTube said that they weren't getting the signal from my encoder for a minute and then it switched back. So somebody let me know in the chat if we're still going live. It looks like we are. The ticker's still ticking and all that. So
Brenda says you are.
Okay. Yep, David said we're on. All good. Okay. Live radio. Okay, video radio. Ugh, gotta look at this shit. Okay, but here's the thing about the military civilian contractors. You know, if you're awake at all, you know, and this is coming from an ex-military guy, right? I was in the military for a while, and David was too, and Vaughn was too. I don't know their opinions. I'm speaking for myself when it comes to what I'm about to say, but here's the deal. We know what our military does. They are the military industrial complex. They have absolutely nothing to do with the freedom and security of this country. They are nothing but a military arm of the Federal Reserve. They go around the world starting conflicts and then keeping them going for decades. And it's time for that shit to stop. So go find another job, go contract through somebody else, whatever the fuck, you know, sorry. That shit's got to stop, man. It's got to stop.
Yeah, don't waste your life away. Go start some company, start something, you know, something that you're going to be proud of.
Disassociate yourself from the teat of the federal government. Please.
Because it's totally gone insane. And, you know, now we've come to pass long enough now that I would say at least 80% of the people understand what we really are doing and questioning why the hell we're doing it. And the only way to stop is you guys to stop joining. Stop doing that bullshit.
Exactly. You're sucking the fucking people dry. You know, you're sucking the people dry. Now, granted that the Federal Reserve can print all the dollars that they want to print or whatever, but then we're stuck with the interest, okay? It's not just coming from the federal government. We're not printing greenbacks. We borrow every fucking dollar that we spend, and then we're responsible for the interest. That's how they've destroyed this country. And it's got to stop, man. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. The United States has been the bully on the block for entirely too long, man.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, I know.
So they took all the industry away.
We're still
They took all the manufacturing or any kind of a job skill that you could possibly do. So it kind of left to the avenue of military. So if you're not in the military, you're actually building military goods. You belong to a military contracting outfit that's actually working and building shit for the military. We need to turn this whole table around.
Or you're working for $7 fucking an hour, or you're in prison. That's about
that's what they did during World War II, especially the women.
Yep. Yeah, because all the men were overseas getting killed for no reason whatsoever.
Exactly. That's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And this time, the women will be fighting too now, because now women can be drafted.
Yeah, they're going to be responsible for several million more lives before all this shit is over with. And it makes me shake my head, you know?
You know, they're having all this conversation now about trannies and gays in the military. I'll tell you what, when it comes down to a draft, they ain't going to care if you're a tranny or gay.
I'm so fucking tired of hearing about transsexuals and gays and fucking whatever, man, whatever. Ugh, I'm just, that just chokes me up, man. Almost worse than cops shooting civilians. It's just the gay, transgender, whatever population is like 0.1% of the people in this country. And that's all you fucking see on television and in the ads and in Hollywood and whatever. Whatever.
Well, what do you think about Chelsea Manning running for like governor or senator or congressman?
It's transgender in your face, man. It's in your face. She. I'm calling him a she, for fuck's sake. Bradley Manning is going to get elected to the Senate because every fucking fag on the planet is going to move to his district and vote for him. Because they've been brainwashed into doing it, right? The transgender shit is hot right now, dude. It's everywhere you look. And he's going to get in simply on that fact. Not because he's got any kind of knowledge or knows how to do anything senatorial or whatever the fuck, you know. As far as the military is concerned, he's a traitor.
He is,
but he's going to be a senator that sucks cock. I think most of the other ones do anyway, so join the crowd, right? But he's cool, man, because he's got tits. Sorry. Rant over. You still got to throw in a couple of your rants, Dave. Come on, man. You said you were full of them. You got to join in on that one. And Vaughn, if you got some pent-up anger, grab the mic and start bitching, man. That's what this show's all about.
Well, it's like I talked to you earlier about on Skype, about us taking your country back. It's never going to happen.
Fuck. There's too many lazy, stupid motherfuckers in this country to try to take it back.
And when people have to be told to stop, when the FDA had to put a warning out to please stop eating Tide Pods, this country has just gone off the cliff.
There's donut manufacturers that are making Tide Pod looking donuts and candies and cookies and fuck whatever, man. Keep going. Go ahead.
What the hell is happening, man? It's like, promoting poison. It's just, I don't get it.
Brainwashed.
Grown adults have to be told not to eat laundry soap.
Brainwashed.
It's the chemtrails.
Social media. Yeah, it's the social media stupidity. It's the, the dopamine fix that you get off of your little Facebook feeds and shit like that. The constant looking for
social
views.
Media has a lot to do with the dumbing down.
Fuck yeah, it does. Everybody's following everybody like a damn sheep.
It's an experiment.
Yep, and it worked.
Yep.
Edward Bernays, look that name up, man. Go look at all the fucking Look at the patents. There's patents out there right now. I post videos of it all the time. There's patents out there that have been out there since the 70s that tell you exactly how they brainwash you through your fucking computer and television. The patents are out there for you to see. They transmit the signal. It goes through the fucking cable. It comes through your wall. It goes into your tube, and it fucking brainwashes you.
Oh, yeah, I believe all that. It really, truly does, man.
The patents are out there, man. They've known about it since the 70s. That's why I'm telling you, man, this technology, this whole the internet, the AI shit that they're coming out with, this 5G shit that they're coming out with, it is all demonic.
Sex
and it's
dolls,
to control you forever.
Sex robots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Silicone lovers.
People are actually paying all kinds of money up in Europe to go do that.
They never say no, right? They never
got
have a headache.
Brothels open where you go in and pick one out, and
I'm telling you, that's how they're going to get everybody. You know, you're going to have your own little slave in the corner of your house that you can turn on and off whenever you want to and tell it to do whatever you want. If you need a hand job, you can tell it to come give you a hand job. If you need the dishes done, tell it to go do the dishes. If you want the oil changed on the car, tell it to go change the oil on the car. That's how they're going to get everybody with this fucking AI. They're going to tell you, you want this robot. You need this robot. Go buy it. We'll finance it. 20 fucking years, man, at 2% interest. You can have it tomorrow. We'll deliver it to your house for fucking free. You need it. Go get it.
Well, when you're having sex with damn robots, man, shit's gone crazy. You know, that's the world. You know, this ain't just America there. I mean, I just watched, there was a thing on RT about it the other day. They got brothels opened up, and these people go in, these millionaires.
The transhumanist, the transhumanist agenda's been out there forever, man. These guys that are millionaires think that they're going to be able to pull their head out and stick it on a robot and live forever, right? And then so naturally, if they're going to be a robot forever, then they got to have sex robots and everything. You know what I mean? It's just a progression, right?
Well, sex is how they get you attached to them.
Oh, yeah, because sex sells, man. Still to this day, the largest websites on the web are porn sites. Pornhub is huge.
Oh, yeah, that's $1 billion site.
Bigger than Reddit. Bigger than YouTube.
They did a poll the other day, Pornhub did. I seen it come across Twitter, and they showed this graph, and they said that when Hawaii had that false missile alarm go off, viewership to the site dropped from Hawaii like way down. But soon, 46 or 48 minutes later, when they said that the alarm was fake, viewer site went up over 500%. So they said basically people stopped watching porn when the alarm went up. And then once they seen it was fake and they were going to live, more people went to the site. Mm-hmm. All sitting there jerking and happy they're still alive, I guess, man. I don't know, but it's the craziest thing. Humans are, sex will turn a human around in any direction it can. And this is what they're going to try to do with this AI stuff. Oh, here, go have sex with this robot there. Now you need all this AI stuff. You see how good it is.
I love my listeners, man. Saint just made a comment in the room that was just priceless, dude. He said, Manning's got the balls to run for Congress or Senate. He's got the balls to run and the tits too. Have you seen the picture of him since he started doing his blonde hair and putting makeup on and shit? He looks like a fucking bad faggot. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if I lose listeners over or whatever. He looks like a fucking horrendous faggot. Ugh. Just horrible. What the fuck was that? Was that on your end?
Wasn't me.
I heard something pop.
Yeah, I did too.
Maybe something popped on your end there, Jim. Sounded like, or something dropped.
That's what it sounded like. Something dropped somewhere. Wasn't here.
I don't know. They said we've been hiccuping the whole show. The audio or video or something's been hiccuping, so I don't know. I'm not showing any, like 183 drop frames, 0.2%, so that's not, that's nothing, basically. I don't know. Audio's still good. Camera's still running. I don't know. If it was something important, I guess I'll find out in a minute.
Brenda was running through Facebook and ran across this picture of this little feller. And I thought, what's that about, Brenda? And she played the video, and it showed this little feller putting on makeup. Okay. Now, the extreme this guy went to, he had been taught this shit. Okay. He's a young little guy. And I'm thinking, this is why this should never be allowed, even on Facebook. Because what it's doing is encouraging this kind of activity. I mean, it's a total transgender effect upon the youth that is acceptable.
When the National Geographic had that little transgender kid on the cover this year or last year, they got another one out. Some little 7 or 8 year old boy that's all the rage in the drag queen industry. They call him Lactatia. He puts on dresses and makeup and shit and goes out. They actually parade him out on stage and stuff to do to dance around at these transgender events and shit. These what are the cross-dressing events or whatever they call them. So it's ridiculous, and they're putting it in front of everybody's faces. I remember just about a month ago. Every time you pull up the homepage on YouTube, it had that little transgender kid on the fucking thing for the Wonder Woman ad. The one that was on the cover of National Geographic. He was on there for the Wonder Woman ad.
Tell you what's messed up is like here in Fargo, it's a pretty big town here, 100,000 people, and there's a lot of bars downtown. On New Year's Eve, this one bar put on their thing called Celebrate New Year's Eve in your onesies.
Oh, God,
encouraging men, especially men, to wear like those onesies.
Jumpers. Yeah, the little jumper things, yeah.
Wearing them, and I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Get a discount on beer just because you're in some faggot outfit?
It's ridiculous, dude.
And that's what it is, too. I hate to say that, but it's exactly what it is.
The womanization of men. The pussification of the male gender. It's not even a gender. There's sexes. There's 2 of them. Males and females. That's it. No such thing as gender. It's a made-up word.
What
do they call those?
Total destruction morality in this country is what it is.
Absolutely.
That's what they call those men's onesies, rompers.
Rompers, yeah. Romper, jumper, yeah. Romper.
A lot of your black guys wear them things. And that's where they came from. But I don't know. You wouldn't catch me dead in one of those things, man.
I'm going to read a couple things out of the room here. Willow's, I think she's talking about the little boy, the Lactatia boy or whatever. She said, more makeup than most adult women wear and more practice than many of my friends. Tony Solando says, gold-backed yuan in China is the best China. Well, that's coming, dude. They're going to make the dollar obsolete. Tommy says, also, I hear Nancy Pelosi is taking a gig on some fag drag show on VH1.
Yeah, she is. She's a judge, man.
I had no idea VH1 was still a fucking network, man. That's how long it's been since I've watched television. Oh, let's see here. That's priceless, dude, because she is a fucking lunatic, man. Saint says, sadly, a lot of people do need a robot because they aren't capable of doing anything. True. Except sitting on their fucking ass behind their keyboard, being a hero on YouTube or fucking wherever, right?
They lack the ability to communicate with real humans. So if they're doing it to a robot, then they don't have to worry about the response because all you do is hit the off switch and say, fuck you, we're not talking.
I got to tell you, though, man, as someone that goes out in public regularly because I have to for my job, I don't like being out in public either. The stupid is everywhere. We're already in the zombie apocalypse, people, if you don't realize it yet. If they're not so uneducated that they can't carry on a logical, decent, coherent conversation, then they've got their face stuck in their fucking electronic devices. We are already deep in the zombie apocalypse. You people just don't get it yet. Yeah. Let me read a couple more things out of here. Let's see. The petro yuan is the best petro money. Tony, you like China for some reason, Bubba. I don't know why, but yeah, you're on their boat. You're on their boat. Mark Aaron said Agenda 2030, which is what it's all about, man. The depopulation of this country and the rest of the world so that the elites can have more shit for themselves. Baba Yaga says, you either have a wiener or a vajayjay. There's no in between. Transgender is a sin and a mental disorder. Yes, it is. Addie says, also, why is there so much soy in everything? Good question. I think it has something to do with male tits. Just saying. Soy's terrible for the human body. Addie also says they can have both or neither in a very small population, Baba Yaya. Same as any other mammal. Well, I can only talk to a few people. People are gonzo, Mark says. Yeah. I have a friend named Gonzo, though, so I think he might take offense to that. People are not really people anymore, if you ask me. A lot of humanity has lost its humanity. All right, rant over. Go ahead, David.
Trying to see something. Trying to punch up this one story here.
Don't be mean to the story, man. The story didn't do nothing to you. You're punching stories.
This came out yesterday. It says Pope Francis warns the world is at the brink of nuclear war.
Thanks, Frank.
It says as he flew off for a visit to Chile and Peru, Pope Francis.
They had a 6.8 there earlier.
Yeah. Pope Francis told reporters, we are at the very limit of nuclear war. And, it's being all around us, man. We see what's fixing to happen. I mean, those nuclear bombers we got sitting in Guam, Little Kim with his nukes, China with their nukes. We are on the edge. I mean, we're always on the edge, but I think we really are on the, on the edge.
Absolutely. Closer than we've ever been in my lifetime or my father's lifetime.
Yeah, I believe that, man. So the warning signs are out there. This story just came out tonight too. Here,
Vaughn, feel free to jump in anytime you want, man. There's only 3 of us on the mic, so.
Oh, I am. I'm just listening.
Okay.
This came out. It says ground phase of Turkish attack on Afrin will start on Sunday, says the Prime Minister.
Well, it's a secret then. I mean, everybody on the internet, shh, don't tell the Kurds.
Oh, well, that's funny. Turkey's been very open with this.
I know.
They told them
because they don't have a worry in the world, right? They got the 3rd largest army in NATO, and they've got free weapons coming at them from all directions, man. The Mossad are in there funding them and giving them all kinds of. They make their own really good guns and shit. I mean, they're all in the United States market. There's all kinds of weapons built in Turkey. They're on so hey, they ain't got no sweat, right? Well, we're gonna go in there and kill some more innocent people, but shh.
What did Turkey say here? They said starting Sunday, tomorrow, depending on developments, our ground units will perform the necessary activities as part of the Operation Olive Branch, said the Prime Minister. He claimed the first phase of the aerial campaign destroyed nearly all of the targets. It says the goal.
Yeah, the hospital. Hospital, all the fuel depots, any airport that was in the area probably got holes blown through it. What else do they hit really quick? All the grocery outlets or, food distribution outlets, those are all destroyed right now. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It said, following cross-border artillery shell on Friday and Saturday, Turkey deployed thousands of soldiers of the Free Syrian Army to support their offense to eliminate the Kurdish-aligned PKK, PYD, YPG militias and Islamic State fighters. Now, I tell you what, Turkey, like I said, they're a big supporter of ISIS. And this war here, I got this written on Facebook. It says, let's be clear, very clear. Whatever Turkey claims is the motive behind their intervention in northern Syria, this is not an anti-ISIS operation. It's
No, because ISIS is all up in Turkey. ISIS is now the 3rd Brigade for the fucking Turkish military.
Yeah. This is the FSA they're sponsoring.
Yeah.
And so Turkey's claiming they're going in there to eliminate ISIS. When they're going in there to eliminate the Kurds, everybody knows it.
Right.
Because there isn't any ISIS there. And so, it's an attempt to wipe out the Kurdish opposition, which will directly benefit ISIS and other militants. Because these groups they're coming to take out have been fighting ISIS and killing them. And Turkey's pissed about that. Turkey's like, you're killing our fighters. And so they're pissed at the Kurds for killing ISIS because ISIS is the Free Syrian Army.
Okay. This is like the Ouroboros, right? The snake eating its fucking tail. Yeah. Jeez, man. It's you have to laugh at it, man, because if you didn't laugh at it, you'd pull your fucking hair out. Look at Dave. He's bald. He's been doing this shit for a decade or more. So
that's why Turkey's going in there. They're going in there to kill these Kurdish fighters because these Kurdish fighters are killing the ISIS members, and the ISIS members belong to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
No one's even hiding it anymore. I mean, we're flying ISIS fighters around every so often. You'll see a load of them in our helicopters.
Hell yeah, we drop fucking weapons and cash to them, and yeah, fuck. Did you see the video that's been going around on all the social media for the last couple of days of the hundreds of cases of Red Cross supposedly it's supposed to be medical supplies or whatever, and it's full of cash, full of American cash that was left all over Libya, they said. It was Gaddafi's stash that he was trying to keep hidden from the CIA guys because he knew they were coming to get his ass, and he wanted to keep some money back for his family or whatever. So now we're going all over the place in Libya trying to find all this hidden cash. And, of course, the International Red Cross says, oh, we know nothing about that. Okay, sorry. That was just a rabbit hole I had to bring up really quick.
Oh, that's the truth, though. I mean, that's another reason why we wanted him killed, to take his money.
Yeah, corruption's every fucking place, man. Everywhere.
America's the biggest thug there is. We really are. We go around to all these other countries getting protection money.
And the thing that's super horrible about it is that even your dog catcher is probably corrupt. I mean, it goes that deep. They watch everybody else in upper government do it so that the state governments are like, well, fuck, if they can get away with it, we can get away with it. So the state governments do it, and then the local, the county assemblies, they're like, well, the fucking state's doing it, so we can get away with it, right? And they start doing it, and then the local governments and the townships and stuff, they're like, well, fuck, everybody's doing it all the way up to the White House, so we can do it too, right?
All kinds of corruption going on, even at the lowest levels.
Right.
Well, someday somebody will realize that maybe, just maybe, we could turn this around if they'll just stop going and getting involved in this stuff. Because I remember years ago when I was in school, and they talked about Arabia, the Muslim countries and stuff. I had the imagination they were riding them Arabian horses, just like that one, Aladdin, with a long sword, and they were always looking for treasures in the desert, And when all of a sudden everybody thought, we got to kill these people, fight these people, I thought, why are we chasing them down? They're out in the desert, they got their camels, they got their Arabian horses, and they got their freaking tents. They're looking for treasures. Leave them alone. But no, here we mechanize them. We give them all these weapons. You know what it is? Maybe they really didn't want to play soldier with us, but now they have no fucking choice, guys.
Yeah, because they're fighting for their lives. Right? I mean, we go into these people's fucking countries and just start destroying them willy-nilly, and we wonder why there's fighters coming, standing up against us and trying to kill our troops.
Well, it's like those Kurds we trained over there in Afrin. We trained them and we used them to our ends, and then we abandoned them. Now they want our help, and we're like, God, too bad. I guess you're going to get wiped out.
They should know better than to ask us for help. We left them over there to die.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, man.
That's
we don't like Turkey over there doing that to them, but we're not going to do anything to stop them.
And now they have no allies, right? Are they going to go to Syria and say, "Come help us out, fellas"? They've had their ass kicked for the last 6 years plus. They're not in any shape to help out. Russia's not going to come to your aid. PKK, whoever else is over there, the P whatevers, they're not. They're allied with Turkey, right? Iran's not going to come help you because they're allied with Russia and Turkey. You guys are fucked like Chuck, and I pray for you because you're going to get your asses handed to you.
Well, that's it, and after Erdogan said, like I said earlier, after he takes these towns, he's going to take the ones that we're at, and I think that's the red line with us right there. We're like, all right, we told you could have that piece. Now, if you come for this piece, too, you're in some shit.
Nah, I gave them a couple days heads up so they can fly some planes in there and get our boys out.
Oh, yeah, and we'll probably abandon the SDF. I don't know if we'll abandon the SDF, though. I think that's one of our forces to go after Assad.
They'll probably move them to a safe location, and then when the Turkish army comes through there, they'll just adopt them.
Yeah.
Give them a uniform.
Well, that could be it, too. Basically, Erdogan's telling us, either you get out or I'm going to go against you. He's giving us a fair warning, which,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, we could take him if we wanted to. I believe it'd be one hell of a war.
2 NATO nations going at each other? Ooh.
I think eventually that may happen, man.
That would look bad on the world stage, wouldn't it?
No, I think we already look bad on the world stage.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why they're all turning their back on us.
Well, that's it. Everybody's giving us the finger except Israel, and that's why because we pay them billions of dollars every year to stay our friend.
Okay, quick question out of the room. Mark Aaron says, what do you guys think about the release the memo? Who's attached to it, or is it just a smokescreen? I think he's talking about the FISA memo that's supposed to start slipping people into handcuffs and perp walking them and shit. Your thoughts? I believe
that when I see it.
Yeah, that's about where I'm standing, too.
That's just like lock her up. Where's that at?
Right. Your thoughts, Vaughn?
Lock who up now? I'm sorry.
About the FISA memo being released?
I don't know nothing about the FISA memo. What's that detail?
About the whole Uranium One thing and Comey's investigation being a total fraud and blah, 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 calling for his arrest and Hillary's arrest and anybody that was associated with the Uranium One deal, the whole FISA thing, the freedom of information.
Let's spend some more money that they're never going to accomplish anything. That's what it all is. What, they got a board within themselves, governing themselves? What if they turn it over to us people out here? And I guarantee you, we can get a lynching party. We can just string these some bitches up and be done with this shit. Okay? And let the Lord figure it out.
Hang on. I might have been wrong about the whole Uranium One thing. Mark Aaron's saying it's a big story, allegedly. 4-page memo regarding surveillance abuse by the FBI and tied to the whole 702-page FBI Spygate thing. MI6, I guess, is associated with it as well. So, yeah, this is about, and they're just going to let the FBI go ahead and keep watching us because they can track everything you do now with your voice. If they have a voice print off of your phone, all they got to do is, go ahead.
So this is more pointed at us than the criminals. Is that what I'm gathering from this conversation?
What, are you crazy? We are the criminals, Vaughn.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to admit to that, but now that you brought that up, fuck them.
I'm just saying, they've been treating us like a bunch of fucking criminals for 100 plus years. We're in a prison where the bars are so far away you can't see them. Right?
Why should they stop now?
Right. You know that the United States is the only country that charges people taxes even if they live and make money overseas. If you claim to be a resident of the United States, no matter where you live, the federal government is coming after your ass for some money every year. It's ridiculous, man.
That's just crazy.
But just so you know, in the tax code, it's voluntary. Go look it up. Federal taxes are voluntary. They are not required by law. Go ahead. Sorry.
This just came out. It says rockets fired from Syria just hit a Turkish border city, Kilis. There's 3 rockets fired from Syria.
Are you kidding me? The name of the city is Kilis?
Yep.
Fuck.
Kilis.
Oh, Kill is. Okay. I was going to say, you fuckers asked for it.
But it says, 3 rockets were just launched. It hit inside Turkey. They were launched from Syria. It says the rockets also says damaged buildings in the area.
So now the Turkish Air Force is going to go across the border and bomb civilians, just like the IDF does to the Palestinians.
Oh, yeah. That'll be next. Well, it just shows how fast this war's already spread. Now they're firing back from Syria into Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Assad's pissed because Erdogan announced that he sent a written memo to Assad days ago telling him that he was going to do this and that Assad said it was all right.
Right.
Assad came out this afternoon and went on his national state news or whatever and said, I did not give Erdogan permission to do this, and I want you to fuck out of my country right now. Where Turkey turned around and said, suck a dick, we're killing terrorists for you.
This is not going to end well at all, man. None of this is. Man.
And Russia's playing both sides of the fence here. Putin's trying to make Assad happy, but yet Putin's trying to make Erdogan happy. So Putin's right in the middle here. He's the go-to guy from both sides. So everybody's trying to figure out where Putin stands in this because he seems to be screwing both sides over.
Meanwhile, look over here in North Korea.
Well, some are probably going to go down there too. Like I said, all it's going to take is one spark in one of these places. Yesterday or early this morning, Pakistan and India got into it, and India killed a bunch of Pakistanis. And so they've been threatening each other with nuclear war the past couple of days. Again.
Last time it was fist cuffing on the fucking border, between the two factions, between the two military outfits.
Well, it's shown now too where China's building up on India's border over there in that Dokkan where they've been fighting over.
Yeah.
They were going at it back and forth for a while, and they both came to an agreement that they would, send a bunch of their troops back to, from the front to the back and try to make, this as less tense as possible. Well, India did that. Well, while India did that, China built up a massive force. And so basically, China, gave India the runaround, man.
Little head fake.
China gave India the runaround, and so while India went to the back, China started building buildings, bringing up guns, bringing up troops.
Mm-hmm. Little head fake.
What's going on in Sweden? Did we hear any more about their draft or anything? Have they gone public with anything else on that?
That manual they're still printing. That hasn't come out yet. I think it comes out in a couple weeks.
That'll be interesting as hell to see what happens. Shit, their guys might be standing in line going, hell yeah, I'll come. I'll defend my fucking country. Everybody's prepping for war, man. Everybody except the United States population, right? We're sitting on our fucking asses watching TV and eating bonbons and, drinking diet sodas and going to McDonald's and drinking fluoridated water and eating GMO foods and breathing in chemtrails and, yeah.
Dish soap.
Yeah. Eating Tide Pods. Yeah. Yeah. Being drug around by our noses with social media.
We're just a lovely lot, aren't we? Aren't we? I think we're getting more like England than America. You ever got that feeling? Where's Julia? He loved that one.
It's sad what's happening to this nation, man. And, but who do you blame for this happening? The people for being dumbed down, or the government for dumbing them down?
Well, I mean, at a certain point, I think back in history somewhere, there was an opportunity for the people in this country to go, whoa. Back the truck up, Chuck. You guys up on Capitol Hill are trying to assess way too much power to yourselves. You're public servants. You need to relax a little bit and take a fucking vacation. You people work for us, and you better start acting like it, or we'll find somebody that will. At some point in history, I think that was viable. You know, we could have gotten away with it, but now they've garnered so much power, and the military is at their disposal, and it's all about money now. The greed and corruption have thoroughly embedded itself in every faction of the United States. And it's all about the money now. And the fact that the majority of the humans in this country have lost their humanity and no longer give a shit.
Well, it's like I was talking to you on Skype, yeah, we've got the guns, but we use the guns on each other,
Right.
We don't, and the government knows that. And people say, oh, we got guns. That keeps the government from taking over. Well, the government's already took over, number one.
Right.
And number two, the government doesn't mind us having guns because we kill more of each other than we do any of them given minute.
Yeah, the government's got you fucking gun owners worried about whether or not you can have a bump stock. You dumbasses. Oh, go sign up for the fucking NRA so that they can pad some more senators' pockets and shit and keep the corruption going. You fucking idiots.
Well, I've got 5,000 rounds of 22, but I just can't buy no more at Walmart. What the hell?
Well, that's it with the gun. Like I said, I believe in the Second Amendment. I really do. But
it wasn't about bump stocks.
The real true gun people, the Second Amendment people, oh, we got guns. It keeps the government from taking us over. I'm like, it's taking us over already. And number two, I don't see you shooting any of them, but I see you shooting your neighbor. The government knows. That's why they're not worried that we have guns. They in fact encourage us to have guns because that's more of us that get killed. And that's the facts. That is the facts.
The bastards stand right there in front of you and get themselves nominated for election time and have no fears. But they know they're lying because they can say any damn thing they want to, and you're going to buy it, and you're not going to do nothing about it. Oh, you're a gun toter. Oh, well, don't shoot yourself in the foot carrying that gun.
That's it. Like North Dakota, like I said, we're a constitutional carry state now here. But the deal is, the government doesn't fear the people because we have guns, because they know we're just dumb enough now where we use the guns on each other and not on them. And I'm not advocating shooting government officials at all. But what I'm saying is they're smart enough to know that most of us aren't. And that we'd much rather shoot our neighbor than do anything else, man. And that's what we do. How many murders happen a day in this country? Oh. You don't think the government? That's part of depopulation. The government loves that Chicago's got one of the highest murder rates in this country. It shows that.
Why do you think Rahm Emanuel's still in charge of that fucking city? That murder rate's been climbing since he got into office. That's all by design.
They're happy with it.
Yes.
They're happy with it, and they hope every city gets as high as Chicago, and it really is. Baltimore just is having massive shootings over there.
The more they kill off, the more other ones that they can herd into that city.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's going to be these big cities like FEMA camps and shit are going to be a killing ground. They're going to murder people, move more people in, and murder them too.
So the government doesn't care that you got a gun.
No.
They're not scared whatsoever.
No. They just train the police to be scared to death of you.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing that cracks me up is everybody claims to really research what they're voting for and what they're dealing with.
Fuck.
If they would have thought for one moment to really research Mr. Reed when they put him in office, they would understand in his past generations, I don't know if it was his grandfather or whatever it was, there was a lady doing a kind of a thing on him, a documentary. Come to find out that one of his relatives was a banker or some odd thing, and ended up stealing somebody's horse and got hung for horse thieving. Okay, now how does that sit with you? Wouldn't that kind of lean towards, do I really trust this guy? I mean, part of his family was a horse thief, got hung for it. Is he kind of reputable? Oh, well, apparently not, because look at him now. He's a property thief.
what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We've
That's
been out
it.
here.
There's nothing, and I'm not.
Yeah, we've
I
been
used
out
to
here
get
for
so much shit for saying, "Oh, were you saying we should just lay down and cower?" I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think it's a fucking delusion for people to think that we're ever going to take this country back. Not that we really ever had it, and get rid of this tyrannical government. It's never going to happen.
Look, you've been out here for 10 years trying to wake people up. I've been out here for 7 years trying to wake people up. How many people are watching my show right now? I don't even know. I don't have the public page up. What I got? Maybe 20 people listening to me?
32.
Oh, 32. Well, hey, that's a good day for me, right? That's a good day for me. I used to have 60, 70 people listening to my fucking radio show every night. But no,
I just think it's a delusion, man. Americans are under a delusion. I'm not saying lay down and cower whatsoever, but I'm saying, you can try to fight all you want. In the end, you lose.
Yeah.
And I'm
because
not saying
the rest of the population,
be a good servant, man.
Because the rest of the population won't stand up to help you. They
exactly
believe the lie.
They're too busy.
They believe the lie that the government has all the power.
Well, they're too busy eating. Not go back to it. They're too busy eating laundry. So
true that also.
Well, the country's so divided in so many different ways that even if a movement was made, somewhere along the rail it derail itself because somebody would bring up something and then all of a sudden everybody's attention go that way and they'd run off on you. So it's just like these protests you're talking about they had today. I bet that was quite of a zoo to watch. In fact, they moved in the ones that set the motion, tire people out, and then they brought the violent ones in to really scatter shit. Is that how it worked?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Couple of things from the room here. It says, Tommy Stock says, yep, and the more lower to middle class, the better in their opinion, which is right. They want more people completely dependent on the government. Look, there is not a city or town in this country right now where you can make minimum wage 40 hours a week and be able to keep an apartment, feed yourself, have a car, and pay for your insurance and stuff. You just can't do it. The cost of living is too high for that to happen. So minimum wage is just, I mean, that's what they're putting you on the government rolls is what they're doing when you get a minimum wage job.
Well, that's it. I see, since this quote unquote great tax break everybody just got, how all these companies now, and I'll admit, you see a lot of companies now giving out these bonuses and rate, but that's because Trump just cut their taxes by 3/4. These corporations.
They're also laying off people to be able to pay for that tax because they're not going to give you the fucking money. They're going to keep it for themselves. They're going to lay other people off and pretend that they're giving you the money by cutting salaries to other people and giving you that money.
Well, they did that at Walmart with Sam's Club. They shut all their Sam's Club.
36 of them.
Walmart employees a damn raise. So, they don't want to lose that revenue coming in and buying shit, but they need to get rid of all that overhead.
Right. 36 of them. 36 Sam's Clubs closed. How many thousands of people do you think that put out of work?
Well, shit, they didn't even get a pink notice, man. They shut the doors.
Yeah.
They weren't open,
Came in the next day and there was a security guard going, nope, sorry, man. They closed it.
Yeah.
Go home.
How does that work out? Where the hell's the unions? You mentioned union and
I don't believe in
Of course, they got corrupted too.
I don't believe in unions. They're just as corrupt as the government. When the unions first came around and they were improving working conditions and shit like that, they were good things, right? They kept people from working 20 fucking hours a day and standing in mud and what, you know what I mean? They improved working conditions and safety and stuff like that. After that was all done and handled, they did nothing but become corrupt.
That's right.
Auto workers, I'm sorry, man. You guys make shitty fucking cars and you get paid entirely too much goddamn money. There's no reason for you working on a fucking assembly line when a robot does 3/4 of your job for you to try to be making $30 fucking an hour. Eat a dick. I'll probably lose some subscribers for that one.
Yeah, they get paid a lot, man.
It's ridiculous, man. I looked at these guys at these cat plants. There was a huge cat plant over in Peoria, Illinois. The people sweeping the fucking floors were making $15 an hour. Fuck off! Fuck. Just because they were in a union. They had $15 an hour to sweep a floor. Fuck off, man.
I belonged to a union for a long time, man, and the only thing I ever noticed was money getting taken out of my check, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Union dues. Yeah, Sandy said it really good right there. In the 1950s would have been a good time for a reset. Yeah. Our grandparents, I think Saint said it earlier in the room, our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they're the ones that dropped the ball. They're the ones that should have clamped down on the government going, whoa, you guys. That ain't the way it's going to work around here. We just left that fucking shit over in England, and for a reason. But no, I mean, we've got the largest government on the planet now. Came over here to get away from it, and now it's the biggest.
But when my grandfather went to D.C. to get his overseas pay, and they got turned on by the military and run off, would have been a time to say, okay, fuckers, that's it. We're already
Right.
fucking military minded. We're ready to blow your asses the fuck away and get it done.
Our ancestors tore shit up over some taxes on tea, you know? And look at us now. We're just fucking fat and happy and stupid. Right? You got heat. You got cable TV and Netflix and a fucking double whopper. Shut up. Pay your taxes. Don't bitch. Take your RFID chip when we come around to give it to you.
Like I say, as long as I got free Wi-Fi in my camp, I'll go willingly.
So you can download Pornhub.
As long as I got 4G,
Right.
and I'm ready to go.
Let's see. Tinfoil Hatter says, yeah, then they think that they're special for being stooges. Saint said hi to Sandy. Wage scale employees. Years equal going up the scale regardless of skill. That's from David Howard. That's true. Time in, what was it, in the military? Time in job, time in service, right? If you had so much time in job and so much time in the service, you got your fucking bar. You got your stripe, whether you earned it or not. Let's see. Tommy Stock says union extortion fees. That's exactly what that shit is, man. Extortion. Tinfoil Hatter says, yeah, I know. I mean, it's so damn big, but it's our indignance. That's what it is, man. You know, human apathy is responsible for a ton of what's going on in this country right now, and probably around the world, you know. Other countries got problems with their governments, too, because government is ruling of the people by force. The actual first definition of government was terrorism.
Has government actually got smaller under Mr. Trump? I thought he was going to downsize it. I know under Obama it grew like 3 folds. I mean, he was hiring everybody that he could think of to do something. I don't know. They had offices for nothing. You know, it was just like, what the hell's going on? Need a job? Come work for the government. Oh, okay. What are you going to do? Don't worry about it. Just go in there and sit in that office, and if we call you, answer the phone. And that's how life is.
It's sad what this country has become.
Oh, it absolutely is.
We started out trying to be the cowboy on the hill, right? Showing everybody how it should be done, freedom and justice and, you know, a little bit for everybody and all that good stuff. And then we decided to try to take on the role of policeman of the world, and there was ulterior motives embedded in that, which the petrodollar became. And then we became the bully of the world. And now people have had it with us. And we're going to pay a huge fucking price. We, the people, are going to pay a huge price for our government being the bully.
Yeah, people hate us for the Federal Reserve.
Yep.
Printing fake fiat currency and demonetizing everybody else's money with it.
I got friends of mine that are talking about going overseas, taking vacations and going overseas to go see, you know, Europe and travel around and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, it's not a really good time to go overseas and wave an American flag going, I'm here as a tourist. It's just not a good time for that, man. The rest of the world does not like us. Even if they act like they do when it comes to the UN meetings and shit, they don't. Because we're creating a fucking shitstorm on the world stage right now. And everybody knows that there's going to be a heavy price to pay when these bombs start dropping because of Trump's Twitter. Go ahead, David.
What else here? This just came out. It says North Korea accepts South Korea's offer of sending advanced team for Olympic team training at its ski course.
Oh, goody.
So that stuff with the Olympics just moving right along between them two.
I'm telling you, dude, that there's something hinky there, dude, man.
Yeah, it is, dude. There's something absolutely not right about that.
When I first saw that headline come out that said that they were going to walk under a unified flag at the Olympics, I was like, what? And the first thing that went through my mind was there's got to be some kind of biblical precedence for this. There's got to be something in prophecy that says something about a divided country united again or something right before during the end times or whatever. There's got to be. I haven't found it yet, though. When I do, you'll be the second to know.
This military-industrial complex story here came out of the Times of India. It says Lockheed proposes making custom-built fighter jets in India.
Another nuclear nation.
Says America Aerospace and Defense major Lockheed Martin has proposed to manufacture custom-built F-16 fighter jets in India, which its officials say will give Indian industry a unique opportunity to become part of the world's largest fighter aircraft ecosystem.
We will spend trillions and trillions of dollars developing new ways to kill human beings, but we can't spend $1 billion to feed them and house them.
Well, that's it. We'll probably have these poor Indians building these F-16s and paying them squat.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper to have them build them than Americans.
Yeah, we don't got to ship them over either, right? We just got to ship the raw material.
I'll talk about this for a minute since it's crossed my mind.
Throw a rant out there, man. We only got 20 minutes left. You gotta give us a rant. We gotta have a David rant tonight, man. F-Town Balla blow.
I used to have good ones till my health went to shit, and I just kind of lost my energy for it.
Right.
But anyway, you got stories like this comes out where they're going to have India's making F-16s for a lot cheaper than what they can pay Americans to do it. And so people wonder where our jobs are going. This is what happened. Either Americans are very, I don't know how you want to say, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, selfish, stingy maybe, I don't know. Because when it comes to getting paid at a job, we want a certain amount of money. So these big companies like this say, fuck that, I ain't paying you that amount of money. I'll go over here and have these people do it for half that price. So I look at it as, is it where Americans are getting lazier and they think they should be getting paid more? Or are we really getting so mistreated where who comes up with the amount of money that there is to do a job? How much would you have to pay Jimmy to build F-16s?
I think that, that question kind of caught me off guard, so I really don't have an answer for that. But the people in this country don't realize just how good they have it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Right? You might only be making, your family might only be making $25,000 or $30,000 a year, but you've got a fucking apartment, you've got heat, you've got food in your refrigerator, you got a television, you got a cell phone, you got a fucking car in the driveway, you can go back and forth to work, to your shitty job. There's people around the world that don't have any of that. You know what I mean? They're wearing plastic bottles on their feet because they can't afford fucking shoes. They're eating out of dumpsters and drinking dirty fucking sewer water. The people in this country, and that's why a lot of the world can't stand the United States anymore. Like, you arrogant motherfucking people. And we deserve it. Everything that's coming at this fucking place, man, we deserve it. I pray to God for all of my friends that he keeps you safe and protects you with his cloak of protection. But, we deserve everything that we got coming at us because we've just been sitting on our ass and letting our government do whatever the fuck they want to do for 100 years.
Well, that's it. Americans have just become lazy and complacent, man.
Exactly.
We think we're worth more than what we really are.
Exactly. The great American empire.
This is why Trump ain't going to bring all these. I'm not knocking Trump at this. I'm not, because, like I said, I don't like any of them on either side. But Trump telling you he's going to bring all these jobs back. Even if he does, it's only going to last for a very short time, and these jobs that came back are going to go back overseas because these companies are going to find out they're not making the money they were making by bringing these jobs to America. They're making a lot more money having Chinese do it or having Indians do it or Bangladeshis or Syrians or someone else. That's where they make the money, having them do it. They don't profit near as much having Americans do it.
Nope.
They don't, because Americans want too much money to do that.
Yeah, got to pay them union wages.
Yep.
Right?
There's too much red tape to do business in America anymore.
Yeah, taxes and import fees and export fees and
so when I hear Trump saying bringing jobs back, I'm like, I don't buy it. And if they do come back, they're not going to be here real long.
No, the companies will go broke
back too for a very short time, and people were cheering them. And within a year, 2 years later, those jobs were back overseas again.
Unless all the stock owners want to eat crow and have their stocks fall. Yeah, because if the wages go up, then profits go down. It's just that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. That's very simple. And to hear, someone say I'm bringing all these jobs back, I'm like, can't add 2 + 2. No, you're not, dude. These CEOs and stuff aren't going to take that big of a hit.
Yeah, well, they might add jobs over here in this industry, but then over here in this industry that's owned by the same dude that owns both industries, right? I mean, the same head honcho guy, he's going to lay off some people over here so that he can make this company look a little bit better and make some headlines with it while nobody's paying attention to this company over here that got shut down and laid off 6,000 people.
Well, that's it. You're Ford. Ford is notorious for doing stuff like that.
And he's talking about all this infrastructure that he's going to start rebuilding and shit too. He's been yapping about that for a year. Where the fuck is that money going to come from? Because we're already 20 trillion plus in a hole. What? I don't know, man. They said that the infrastructure just to go around and replace some of the bridges that need to be replaced is going to cost about another $10 trillion. But hey, the Federal Reserve can just print it willy-nilly, right? They're just going to turn them printing presses on and start tapping those keys on them computers and just adding zeros to everybody's accounts so we can afford to do all this?
Yeah, just like that grand wall Trump wants built is going to be over $12 billion to $20-something billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mexico's paying for that.
Yeah. Mexico came out again yesterday and told Trump to suck it.
Yeah, Vicente Fox is all over that shit like stink on fucking shit, dude. Yeah, that's going to be a good Twitter battle right there, too. I don't know who the head honcho is in Mexico right now, but Vicente Fox has him beat because he's quick on that Twitter.
He tells Trump off every time.
And he's an elitist, too, right? He's a fucking Coca-Cola dirtbag that made all of his billions selling us shitty fucking polluted water, which is basically what soda is. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Vicente Fox is loaded, man.
Yeah, that guy's got big bucks. Let's see. Tinfoil Hatter says, it's understandable collectively we have karma, so to speak, but in our short lifetimes, I doubt we could have made a lot of difference in any more than we have. Life is a mystery. Sandy says, 3 guys. Have you ever watched a short? Oh, I think they're talking about jokes. Saint said, somebody tell a joke before his head explodes. I think we were getting a little too graphic and Downey, Debbie Downer type of shit.
Oh.
Let's see. Tinfoil Hatter says, I was never the kind of guy who could even afford to drink at the bars. Plus, it made no sense. I'd be seen in public drinking and driving when we were just cattle for the piggies. That's true. That's why I don't go out to bars at all, ever. Let's see. Same here. What people need to know. Let's see. Sherman Skolnick was awesome. I think he told us a lot about the Coca-Cola Corporation, right? He was a judge buster, too. Sherman Skolnick. Gonna have to Google that name. Thanks, Tinfoil. That might be something to talk about next week. I got another couple of names that I've been meaning to look up for the past few weeks, too, is Ronald Bernard and Harold Camping. I guess they got
Camping, wasn't he that religious guy?
Yeah. They got a lot to say about corruption and stuff in government and pedophilia and shit like that. So, other stuff for other shows. We still got 15 minutes. Rattle on, David. Anything else coming across your desk?
No, not really. I'm kind of looking here.
Said Sherman Skolnick put away a bunch of corrupt judges in Chicago. Awesomeness. All right, go ahead.
North Korea State News just came out tonight, and they said, they say here, they said, seen on the first page of the, I'll go back to the original one.
Okay.
It says they're bringing out a postage stamp album type thing. And it's the accomplishment of the historic cause of perfecting the national nuclear forces in North Korea. So they're bringing out a big, basically, memorial to Kim Jong-un, saying he's the king of their nuclear forces.
Yeah, weren't they supposed to set off another missile or something for some 70th anniversary or whatever? I don't know. Something was coming up.
Yeah,
some special day.
They're saying in September they're supposed to launch a satellite.
Oh, okay. Something else for us to be scared to death about. Every time it goes over the U.S., oh, they might set off an EMP.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, Secretary Mattis, he was giving this speech on U.S. national security. And he says that China and Russia are bigger problems for ISIS than terrorists right now. And he says that they're our number one enemy right now, China and Russia, not terrorists.
Isn't the FISA document or something that just got released, isn't that supposed to put the big kibosh on the whole Russian collusion thing, put it to bed finally once and for all, that Russia had absolutely nothing to do with the election results and blah, 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 and that, you know, Seth Rich was murdered for what he knew and what he turned over to WikiLeaks and yada, yada, and people are supposed to go to jail, and I've been hearing that crap for 2 weeks now, man. You know? What happened to all that? What happened to all that? You know? If you want to talk about corruption or collusion or anything, look in your own fucking government. Russia's got nothing to do with the corruption that's going on in the United States of America. Right? It's fully homegrown terrorism. And they're all up on Capitol Hill, all the responsible parties. So if you guys want to do some investigating, start turning your fucking spy glasses inside. You're wasting money. You're wasting our time. You're wasting your breath. But the people just eat it up, right? Because they're all a bunch of fucking sheep.
This is a pretty big bulletin that just came out from Turkey.
How many hundreds of, well, hang on just 1 second. How many hundreds of thousands of people were in the streets today marching, wanting Trump impeached from office because of complete lies? Now, granted, I'm no Trump supporter. I think he's a fucking horrible human being, period, right? But there's nothing so far that has even come close to getting him impeached at all. Not if Bill Clinton can get his cock sucked in the fucking Oval Office and walk away from it scot-free and be reelected. So all you tens of thousands of people that spent today running around screaming at the top of your lungs with your little Sharpie signs and shit, fuck off, all of you. Stupids. Sorry, go ahead. Last rant, I promise.
Well, this just came out. I thought it would be interesting here. This came out from the PYD and the the YPJ and the YPG, the group that just got attacked in Afrin, Syria from Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the Turkish occupation army attacked Afrin Canton and neighboring areas with its warplanes on January 20, 2018. It says during the intense attack, which started in 1600 and is going on till this moment, at least 100 points were targeted, including civilian areas, positions of YPG, YPJ, and revolutionary forces. Says the occupation army continues to target civilian areas with 72 fighter jets. Says Afrin City Center, Rubar IDP camp, and some of its civil institutions in Afrin were also targeted. At least 13 civilians were injured, 1 YPG and 2 YPJ fighters, and 6 civilians have been martyred in these attacks. Simultaneously with the intense airstrikes, occupation army's troops, which is Turkey, and terrorists controlled by them, the FSA, attempted to cross border into Afrin and Kurdo and Balia villages of Bilbil district. YPG and YPJ fighters repelled attacks immediately. Soldiers have withdrawn. Since occupying Turkish army and its terrorists, after failed to enter Afrin by attacking on the ground, tried to scare people of Afrin and displace them to FSA-held areas. Turkey's attack directly to civilians of all districts of Afrin clearly shows their despair against YPG and YPJ forces. As we know that without the permission of global forces and mainly Russia, whose troops are located in Afrin, which they were, Turkey moved their troops out as soon as Erdogan went in there. Russia removed its troops from Afrin.
Yeah.
Says
because they're playing by the same book, man.
Yep. It says we know that without the permission of global forces and mainly Russia, whose troops are located in Afrin, Turkey cannot attack civilians using Afrin airspace. Therefore, we hold Russia as responsible, as Turkey, and stress that Russia is the crime partner of Turkey in massacring civilians in this region.
Yeah, they just threatened them earlier today. They threatened us. They said if we get attacked anymore by Turkey, we're going to start in on the Russian troops.
Yep, and they also said that, Syria came out and said, we're going to shoot down Turkish jets.
Yeah. This is not, this is
serious.
People need to pay attention to this one. This one's getting pretty serious pretty quick.
Now, that goes on here. It says, we as General Command of YPG and Afrin state that Turkey cannot defeat our free will and resistance with its warplanes. It is seen that till this moment, no one has fled from Afrin and abandoned their homeland. On this basis, we once again state our determination to protect our land and people. People's defense units and women's defense units will defend Afrin under any circumstances against the Turkish fascism. We call on our people to join the ranks of defense. And that's what they just put out tonight. This is moving fast.
Yeah. It's in the last 24 hours, it's gone from, we think we're going to go over across the border and start fucking with the Turks to the Kurds to, we've killed 10 civilians already, or I think it's 10, right? And laid waste to one entire city so far. And now this, so.
Yeah, and they're blaming Russia, and Russia will start having terror attacks by the PKK over there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to watch. You're going to start seeing bombs go off in Turkey and Istanbul and places like that. You're going to start in Ankara. You're going to start seeing bombs go off.
False flag attacks, maybe.
Could be that too. Erdogan's known for his false flags. Said that whole coup was a false flag.
Yep.
And so you're going to start watching terror attacks breaking out in Russia and Turkey. And that's why I kind of been watching this all day long, man. And it's moving like real fast. America's going to have to make a choice here where we stand.
I don't think that the people in this country have a fucking choice at all, dude. It's going to be whoever we feel like backing, right? And at this point, we're just as bad as the Turks, going wherever the money's at, wherever the wherever the gold and oil and whatever kind of infrastructure we can go in and destroy and use our bombs and stuff that we build so we can build more and make more money. War. Yeah.
Well, maybe they shut down the government so they could all go underground before they decide to nuke the fuck out of something.
Yeah, there was one comment in the room a little earlier that said maybe with the government shutdown they'll stop spraying the fucking skies. We can only hope, man. We can only hope that happens. But yeah, the last shutdown was 18 days, something like that, and then they decided to get their heads out of their asses and approve a fucking half a budget. But look, if you people want to look back through all the white papers and stuff that the government puts online every year, we haven't had a real approved budget for this country since Clinton.
Yep.
Since Clinton. I said Clinton. Not Mrs. Clinton, the big daddy poobah, right? The last approved federal budget was back under his reign. Ever since then, we've just been scraping along and passing, bipartisan continuations of government funding or whatever the fuck they call them. I don't know what they call them, right? Legal documents. So if you think that your Congress is worth their salt or worth the money that you shovel into their pockets every year, they haven't been doing a damn thing for the people. They can't even approve a budget. Which is probably how Barry Soetoro got away with spending $10 trillion in fucking 8 years. Man, oh man. How many more weeks are we going to have to talk about this bullshit, dude, before something actually happens?
It's getting closer. That's all you can say. Like I said, no one's seen this stuff from Turkey coming. That's how fast it happens. A snap of a finger.
Right.
Next minute, we could be in full-scale war with North Korea. It just happens. It's happening that fast.
I still don't think that anything's going to happen over in North Korea until after the Olympics, unless they feel
I don't
like
think it'll be till after the Olympics either.
Yeah, unless they feel like sacrificing a bunch of Olympic athletes and stuff. That could be on their agenda for all we know, dude.
Yeah,
they get off on shit like that. So, and that would have the entire world's attention, dude. Because all the cameras were focused on Tel Aviv or wherever the fuck that happened, or back in the 70s when Mossad came in there and acted like a bunch of Iranian terrorists and took hostages and whatever. Yeah, so.
Well, I could see this playing out there at the Olympics where we set up a false flag, blame it on North Korea. That way, the whole world sees it. Then Russia and China
kill them.
Can't come to the aid of North Korea because we show them some evidence that North Korea did the terror attack,
and the rest of the world's going, kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they killed all of our athletes. Kill them.
Well, it's going to be an interesting 10 days with the Olympics.
Yep.
I don't think personally, hopefully, nothing like that'll happen, but there's always that chance.
Thank you, David. Continuing resolution. That's what Congress signs to keep the government funded. Continuing resolutions. Been going on since the 80s, probably.
Well, our whole government's trying to pretend that we're broke. We're not broke.
They can print as much money as they fucking want to, right? We just have to borrow it at interest, right? But the Federal Reserve, which is the big collection of banks that run all this shit, they can print as much money as they want. Money makes no difference to this world anymore. It's just digits on a fucking screen now. And shit to make you scramble and bleed your whole life away trying to keep up with the Joneses. And that's all it is, man. Money is the root of all evil. But that's all anybody's interested in. Everybody wants to be YouTube famous now so that they can just sit in front of a screen and yak at people and make money all day, right? I got to get more views. I got to get more subscribers. Click subscribe, man. Share this with all your friends.
Well, we can honestly sit here and say this conversation we have right now is not going to change a damn thing. It's an agenda that they set in place that we had to look at. And it will continue to be looked at because they created it until it comes to some kind of a head one way or the other. But, you got to keep your eyes on crazy shit. It's not for for population, gender, or
Yeah.
how do you love us or not? It's just a simple fact. It's shit that's going on in the world, and it's past your comfort zone to know these things. That hey, there is occupation going on all over this country and all over the world. Best thing to be watching will be these Olympics, because I think the things that are going to go down there will change the course of North and South Korea as far as how they're going to get along. Because if we see a lot of friendliness and people coming together, it'll be real hard for this country to turn on them, because then we will definitely be in the world's eye, and shit, we may end up with a couple of them right in our bed we don't want.
It's 11 o'clock.
A couple of them hot nukes.
Yeah. Well, either something's going to happen during the Olympics, and regardless of whether North and South Korea come in there singing Hakuna Matata or whatever the fuck that song is, I don't know. It's either going to happen during the Olympics over in the Middle East, Syria and all that shit, or some false flag that says Korea did it, or
they've
shortly
got the different hotspots picked out.
Shortly after the Olympics on the Korean Peninsula, so something, it's just in the air, man. You can almost feel it. It's like a static charge. All right. Well, according to Vaughn's computer, we made it through another full show. So thank you two for coming on here. And Lance, you never let me know that you were coming on. You said you were going to show up in the second hour, but never did. So I guess you went home and did some bong hits and sat back in the chair and relaxed. Good on you. Lori, I hope you're doing all right. I haven't heard from you for several days now. Just checking on you. Everybody else, thanks for showing up and stuff, It's what keeps me coming back here, even though it's getting monotonous talking about these assholes and everything that they're trying to do to the planet. It's just, makes me shake my head and want to vomit from time to time. Vaughn, David, thanks. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Vaughn.
Jim.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yep. God bless you guys.
Dave. Hope your weather's doing good as ours. We definitely had a warm up. We needed it.
Yeah, it was 40 today.
Made it to 65 here today. All the snow's gone. Yay.
Supposed to get cold here again, though.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you Wednesday.
Peace.
Okie dokie. And all you guys, I'll see you guys on Wednesday too. And like I told you last week, Wednesday on the last show, if you haven't found the face of God, please seek it out. Time is very, very short, I feel. And I pray for all of your protections. Every night and every morning, I get on my knees and pray for all of y'all. Love, peace, and cookies.
We're advised in the New Testament that many of us have entertained angels unawares. That's a very strange idea, but it's in Hebrews 13 too.
Just another day, turn the night bright lights of the city. Rain paints like concrete streets half empty. Suddenly lost on the wrong side of town. It couldn't get worse till your car broke down. All you did is miss an exit, and now you're stalled all alone in a dark silhouette. Quickly steps in the picture, looking gangster, saying, hey there, yo mister, you're not from here, what's your problem? Scared to death, you reach for the sky and start sobbing. Please, I beg you, don't kill me. Take anything you want, please just don't hurt me. Dude, I don't have a gun, I just stopped cause I thought that you might need a jump, or a ride to get gas, or a jack. I could help if your tire was flat. Have you entertained angels? Would you be able to sing at one side at your table? Maybe they've helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger. Have you entertained angels? Would you be able to sing at one side at your table? Maybe they've helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger. There's been a car crash, you're trapped underneath, people bleeding and screaming, you can't even breathe. No one can physically pick up this Jeep, you're defeated and weak, beginning to sleep. When to your disbelief, a man appears out of nowhere and saves all your family. Lifts the car single-handedly, provides bandages, but once the ambulance managed, he disappeared like a bandit. like a thief in the night. Was he real or imagined? Things like this really happen. An example of what's thought impossible happening. Burning buildings and tragedies, mass catastrophes during disasters in history. Similar stories repeatedly. Are these fantasies or maybe something more heavenly? Have we entertained angels? Would you be able to say it once out of your table? Maybe they helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger. Have we entertained angels? Would you be able to say it once out of your table? Maybe they helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger. Bridget was 16 and pregnant. She couldn't face it alone. Thought this kid was an accident, but on her way to the clinic, she sat next to this girl on a bus with an infant. Being a mom is not easy. I had doubts, but now I wouldn't trade her for anything. My baby's daddy, he left me. He took everything, and we don't even have family. But God has always looked out for me. He provides what we need, and so we're both happy. Then she smiled and got off. That they happened to talk was a blessing from God. See, it's not only angels, even people like you can be part of God's miracles. That little baby was saved by the simple yet powerful words they exchanged. Have you entertained angels? Would you be able to say it once out at your table? Maybe they've helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger. Have you entertained angels? Would you be able to say it once out at your table? Maybe they've helped you in danger, or something as small as a smile from a stranger.
And Paul tells us, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Not only can they appear as people, we could mistake them as people.